Hello, hello. Welcome to Cooking with Chef Frank. My name is Frank Kramer. I'm your host, and I'm the founder of Eat Like a Vegan Chef. Welcome to today's episode of Magnesium. We talk about the missing link in what seems to be missing in many people's health, and that's what we're going to talk about today. But I will also talk about our case study, the first 4 weeks and the results of it. I will talk about this after the magnesium presentation, and we will talk about my lifetime membership. Okay, let's get started. Welcome, everyone. If you don't mind um, introducing yourself or just saying hello so I know you're there, it's always nice to talk to an audience. Okay, good. So basically, magnesium is one nutrient that is so important in our daily, functioning, so to speak. It regulates blood sugar levels, boosting athletic performance, and is crucial for your brain and your body. And although it's found in a variety of foods, of leafy greens, and particular in nuts and seeds, and beans and whole grains, people seem not to get enough of it in their diet. So that said, magnesium is involved in hundreds of biochemical reactions in our body, and obviously is found throughout our body. In fact, every cell in our body contains this mineral and needs it to function. So about 60% of magnesium in our body is in our bones, and while the rest is in muscles, soft tissues, and of course, in our blood. So magnesium is sort of a helper, so to speak, and it's it's in helping creating and repair DNA. It's aiding in the muscle contraction, relaxation, so to speak. When we go to the gym and you work out too hard, that's what you get. The lactate in your muscles, that's where magnesium kicks in and relaxes your muscles and, you know, gets some of the lactates out of your muscles. It's also magnesium is also responsible for neurotransmitters in our brain that helps us, to send messages within your brain and your nerves. It's highly, highly interesting. So, okay, even though it's in a lot of foods, recent studies suggest that about 50% of people don't get enough of this recommended nutrient. And so, what does magnesium do beside that? For instance, it boosts exercise. During exercise, we need more magnesium than we are when we're resting, and that's because of the lactate in our muscles. Magnesium helps move blood sugar into our muscles and dispose of the lactate, and which can build up during exercise and cause fatigue. So, you know, that's the part when our muscles feel sore. Studies have shown that magnesium supplements may be particularly beneficial for improving exercise performance in older adults and those with a deficiency in this nutrient. One study in 2,570 women associated with higher magnesium intake with increased muscle mass and energy. And that's pretty cool. So magnesium also improves our mood. And it's not only the mood. I think um, magnesium plays a critical role in our brain, obviously, um, and the low levels are linked to an increased risk of depression. That's according to the National Library of Medicine. So that's pretty interesting. In fact, a study of more than 8,800 people found that those under the age of 65 with the lowest magnesium intake had a 22% greater risk of depression. That is very interesting. Supplementing this mineral may help reduce those symptoms of depression. Um, and I think this is one of the major facts, or points that I always point out in my community is if you have enough magnesium, it will support healthier blood sugar levels. Studies suggest that about 48% of people with type 2 diabetes have low blood levels of magnesium, which may impair the body's ability to regulate blood sugar levels effectively. According, to certain research, um, people who consume more magnesium have a lower risk of type 2 diabetes. I think this is really interesting. And I will talk about the foods that we should be eating later, but I think that's pretty interesting. Another review reported that magnesium supplements improved blood sugar levels and insulin sensitivity in people at risk for type 2 diabetes. I think this is really interesting. Um, Sometimes I hear some of my clients, their blood sugar levels are up and down and all over the place. I think this is one component where you could get it, or you may get it under control. Obviously, you want to check with your doctor first before you supplement. But I think this is a good point to check your magnesium levels. The Obviously, if someone has enough magnesium from food, it does not make a difference if you take supplements. They have no effect since you have already enough magnesium in your body. Uh, Let me just take a look. Okay. Magnesium also plays an important role in keeping your heart healthy and strong. One review found that magnesium supplements improved multiple risk factors for heart disease, including triglycerides, LDL, and HDL, the bad and the good cholesterol, blood pressure levels, um, especially with those who had magnesium deficiencies. So I think that's really, really interesting. And I think next time when you go to the doctor, it might be worth checking out get a complete blood panel if all your nutrients are up to par. That's really important, especially if you eat a whole food plant-based lifestyle, because you never know if you don't eat all the foods that you're supposed to eat throughout your day or throughout the week, you may be insufficient in certain nutrients, and the only one who can find out is your doctor. Magnesium boosts anti-inflammatory benefits. I think that's another very important point because the food we eat literally determines our future, so to speak. So if we eat anti-inflammatory foods, then obviously our inflammation is you know residing, so to speak. It's going away. But yet, if we don't get enough magnesium, that could actually contribute to inflammation. So from that point of view, it's really important that we get enough magnesium. One review of 11 studies concluded that magnesium supplements decreased levels of C-reactive protein, a marker of inflammation in people with chronic inflammation. I think this is pretty interesting. Um, Magnesium may help prevent migraine attacks. So I think for those of you who suffer from migraine, I think it might be a solution. It may not, but maybe worth trying it and checking out if your magnesium levels are high enough. Um, some researchers believe that people with migraine are more likely than others to have magnesium deficiencies. Magnesium also helps your bones stay strong. And I always mention this whenever you taking vitamin D levels, you should always make sure that you have enough magnesium intake, whether you do this with supplements or with with food. But it's very, very important. Some studies associate lower levels of this mineral with a higher risk of osteoporosis. And of course, that's a condition that causes bones to become brittle and weak. And from that point of view, I think it's really, really important, as magnesium is involved in the absorption of vitamin D. So that's something really, really important. Magnesium is, we all know it is the sleep remedy, so to speak. Um, Very often, magnesium is being recommended, um, and there are different kind of magnesium types that you can supplement with. I found that the best one, at least for me, was citrate, magnesium citrates. They are much better absorbable than most others. I will get to this in a second. Um, okay, the reason why magnesium is involved in falling asleep a little better is because they regulate neurotransmitters when it comes to sleep. One review in older adults with insomnia found that magnesium supplements lowered the amount of time it took people to fall asleep by an average of 17 minutes, which is pretty good. Some research suggests that magnesium helps treat and prevent anxiety. I think this is pretty dramatic. Anyone who suffers from anxieties, maybe that's um, somewhere you can look into it and see if your magnesium levels are up to par. Um, so according to the FDA, the recommended daily intake for men is 400 to 420 milligrams per day, and for women, 300 to 320. And but you don't have to get it necessarily from supplements. You can absolutely get it from foods. Um, I'm gonna list a few here. Dark chocolate, one of my favorites. Legumes, seeds, nuts, whole grains, tofu, bananas, and of course green leafy vegetables. Brown rice as well, edamame, chia seeds. So these are great foods to eat and to stock up on magnesium. One of the highest, some vegetables or ingredients that have the highest amount of magnesium are pumpkin seeds, chia seeds, followed by spinach, almonds, cashews, and then black beans, followed then by edamame, peanut butter, and then more or less on the bottom of the list is brown rice and avocado. So, as long as you have these in your diet, you get definitely a good amount of magnesium in. But I recommend checking with your doctor regularly if you have enough of this um, nutrient. Um, that said, some of these supplements, they're usually well tolerated, but some of them may be unsafe for people with certain uh, diuretics, heart medications, or antibiotics. So you want to check with your doctor first if that is something you can take. Um, Again, as I mentioned before, if you take vitamin D supplement, it's vital that you take magnesium as well, or at least have enough in your diet. Recent studies have shown that if a person is deficient in magnesium, no amount of vitamin D supplementation will allow someone to realize the health benefits of adequate vitamin D. I think this is really, really important. And magnesium is critical in making vitamin D bioavailable. So without magnesium present, vitamin D is stored in the body but not used. So that could be the reason that you um, get too much vitamin D in your body. So basically, magnesium is your go-to nutrient. Make sure you check with your doctor first. if you have enough of this or not. Get tested, but definitely load up on the foods that I just mentioned. It's worthwhile since most of you are following a whole food plant-based lifestyle. You shouldn't have any issues with loading up on green leafy vegetables, brown rice, and so forth. But when it comes to um, eating these foods, a good way to get a good amount of magnesium in is making your own trail mix. So I know that I recommend my clients not to eat too many nuts and tofu products because they are pretty rich in fat. But if you have lost your weight, or if you are pretty set in your diet, absolutely you should be eating more nuts, avocados, and tofu. Definitely. Um, so a good way to do this is you can make you can buy yourself all the nuts, raw nuts, preferably no, not salted or unsalted, and you want to make sure that you have you can add a few raisins to it or cranberries. Make sure that no sugar is added to those, and then you can have a handful every day. That's fine. Just make sure that you don't eat, the whole bowl because your scale may not agree with this. So that's basically my take on magnesium. It's worth looking into it, making sure that you get enough. Um, you you can always check if you get enough magnesium by using chronometer, putting in your meals that you eat, and see if you get enough magnesium this way. So that way, you know exactly how much you're getting. Okay, what else? I wanted to quickly talk about the case study, an update. So we had quite a few, reviews from the case study. Um, we are right now in our fifth week, and one of the participants said she started 4 weeks ago. She lost 9.3 pounds and feels more energetic and enjoys the sessions with other members, and share tips and suggestions. So another person said she's been doing it for 1 month and she has lost 17 pounds. Hallelujah, she says. And another person said she is very, very happy that she has started this case study. She has lost over 21 pounds so far. And I'm very happy for those. Very, very happy. And so is there's Barbara, for instance. She has lost 17 pounds. Incredible, since January 1st. Up, absolutely incredible. So I'm really, really thrilled with the results so far. Um, should anyone be interested in it, you know, leave me a reply in the 16-week case study. But I also wanted to quickly touch base on our lifetime membership. I only do this once a year. We're starting this afternoon with the membership drive, so to speak, and it goes until April 2nd. And that's it. I'm only taking on a few members because I want to keep it at a level where it's manageable and we give our members the best quality of, you know, of our community. Okay, so I would say that's it for me. If you have any questions, please let me know. Otherwise, I'd be happy to, I'll see you throughout the week. And yeah, that's it. I wish you a good day. Be safe and think plant-based. Yes, that's right, Sherry. Yeah, thank you. It's important, and those nutrients should not be neglected. You're right. Okay, so Sherry is asking um, what the details are about the lifetime membership. Basically, once a year, I offer my clients to convert to a lifetime membership, even though if they are in a in some kind of capacity, whether it's the case study or blueprint, it doesn't matter. You can convert into a lifetime membership and you have access to everything. You have access to my culinary accelerator, to 16-week case study, and you have access to all um, group coaching sessions. So from that point of view, you really it's a steal, so to speak. It's really incredible, the amount of things you get for this lifetime membership. I sent out an email earlier. You can reply to the email and let me know if you're interested. Okay. So I hope to see you throughout the week. And thank you so much for joining me today. Be safe and think plant based.